Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today is episode 24 of your NHL 22 franchise mode here with the Edmonton Oilers as we walk into a massive offseason, as this last playoff run was once again disappointing as we lost in the second round against the Anaheim Ducks in 6 games. Now, I'm looking to massively tear this team down, but also retool it a bit. We have, a lot of big contracts on the team taking effect, especially with the Draisaitl's new contract, which I think he did not take a no movement clause. I'll have to double check on that, but he's going to be taking into effect with his new contract and stuff like that. But before, we get into all that, I'd like to just say, if you are new to the channel, make sure to slap that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. That'll be very much appreciated, boys. So, let's get into this bad boy here with the Edmonton Oilers. As we all know, we were ripping it up in the playoffs. We really were. We were really dominant. Our top line was just absolutely just incredible. I mean, Draisaitl with 21 points. He was popping off. I mean, no doubt about it, this was definitely going to be our best chance to make a playoff run, and we failed. We evidently failed to finish that off, and players like Mcmahon and Puljujärvi did not produce a whole lot for us. Not just that, we didn't have a whole lot of goal scoring. I think that's definitely one thing that we do got to talk about and do need to address in this upcoming offseason is goal scoring. We have Holloway, McDavid, Draisaitl producing, but after that it was Kessel, Strome, Yamamoto. That second line only had a few goals. They weren't producing a whole lot, and I think that's definitely a big thing that we are going to be addressing in today's episode, and definitely something we are going to be looking at, because you look at the regular season totals as well. I mean, we're not too bad of an off-season team producing wise, but I feel like that second line just needs that little extra goal scorer. Puljujärvi has been all right. He's been emerging as a big talent on this team, but with his contract expiring, I don't see a place for Puljujärvi on this team right now. He's great defensively, but we have players like Dylan Holloway who emerged, who's been great defensively, been a big offensive player for us. He's kind of, overtaking Jesse Puljujärvi's role. And I want to look for that true dedicated goal scorer to play on that left side alongside of Yamamoto and Nuge. And that's what we're going to be looking at in this episode. And then massively just basically taking down the entire depth of our core, because everyone's a free agent. Everyone on this team is a free agent this year, especially with our depth. We have to deal with a lot of free agents. At least we don't have to deal with Leon Draisaitl becoming a free agent. I guess that's the one bonus about this. We do have to deal with McDavid and Holloway the next year. And, Nuge, I think a few years after that. But we have a lot of contracts that we're going to have to deal with. Yamamoto is going to be easy to deal with because he's an RFA. It's not going to be that hard. Right now, he only wants 8.4. And if we just put him on a qualifying offer, we could get him on a really dirt cheap deal for this year. The thing is, it's going to be hard to keep him for the year after that, especially with us going to have to pay Holloway and McDavid here soon. So the time to win is next year. Without a doubt, the time for us to win is next year. It has to be next year. Or, we're going to be stuck in cap hell, and we're going to have to make some moves that we might not like, especially trading away some big all-stars. I think we keep Grzelcyk and Garakova. Of course, they're locked up for the next little bit. And then otherwise, we don't have a lot of prospects jumping up through the core. And then we're also going to decide on whether or not we're going to keep Saros, or if we're going to be trading him away or letting him go to free agents. That's also going to be a big question, because, I mean, it's going to be hard for us to sign a goalie just in general, because we have to kind of, be careful, because we can only sign a guy $1 million or, $1 million lower. And there's not a huge lot of goalies. There's Igor Shesterkin. He's going to be available for us if he does drop the free agents. But once again, he hasn't been phenomenal for the New York Rangers. Hasn't really played a whole lot of playoff time. You got Linus Ullmark, who's a year younger, and he hasn't been phenomenal. I think Saros is like your main guy that you want to keep. I think we got to keep Saros. Without a doubt, we got to keep Saros. I'll pay him the big bucks if we need to pay him the big bucks, because he's been our big goalie, without a doubt. He's been a regular season guy, especially even in this playoff run that we just had. He was really a big goaltender for the team, so I guess we're going to be keeping him on the team, because I think we got to. I think we evidently got to keep Mr. Saros on the team. He's been really good for us. He's been that solid starting goalie, which we haven't had a starting goalie for years. And the Boston Bruins are your Stanley Cup champion, and the Bakersfield Condors won the AHL championship there, so that is amazing to see. There's your lottery. LA won the lottery, Detroit and Montreal, and then Florida falling right behind. So there are your lotteries. So we do have a first round pick this year, so that's a benefit. At least we're going to be able to get someone out of this draft. So huge retirement this year as Kane retires alongside of Kopitar, Getzlaf. You got Jason Spencer, who also finally hangs up his skates. Brad Marchand, who finally wins one last Stanley Cup with Boston. Stastny, Duncan Keith finally hangs him up at, what, 42? 41. He's been last in the NHL for a bit, retiring with the Marlies there quick. Finally hangs him up. Halak, Devin Dubnyk also finally retires with Hudobin and Hutton as well. So not too bad, not too shabby. So let's continue on the simulation. Kopitar's now a coach as well. And also we were going to talk about coaches as well. I think was going to be a big thing on whether or not we're going to keep our coach or if we're going to move on from him. I think our coach has been all right. Like, how many years has he been coaching us? Do we give him one last year? I think I'll let you guys decide, but I think we might give him one last year. He's only been here for 3 years, and every year he's been phenomenal with this team. And the thing is, I think we need to really give him that best team, you know? We really need to give them that tip-top best team that we could possibly give them. So you know what? We're going to keep Mark Mallock for, you know, another year. We still have great assistant coaching core. So you know what? I think we keep the head coach core together. I think that's the best way we got to keep it. You know, keep the coaching core. They know this team best. We know what we need to pick up from them. So I think that's what we do. So heading into this draft, we're going to be having pick. Oh, we don't even have our first round pick this year. So we have the third round, a few fourths, and fifth and the sixth and the seventh. So no picks coming into this upcoming draft. So that is kind of unfortunate. Now we could make some deals. I think maybe we just tear down the whole depth. Maybe I did like Scotty Lawton. I think he's a guy that we do keep, but 27 points. He had a bit of a rough year. He wasn't too bad in the playoffs. I think Scotty Lawton is a guy that we keep. I don't know, man. Maybe he'll have a bounce back year. You know, we'll keep Scotty Lawton. I'll believe that he'll have a bounce back year. I'll believe in him. And I don't think we really need to make any other moves. I really don't think. We just go with the draft. We don't trade anybody. We just deal with free agents. And if we need to make deals then we make the moves when we need to. But I don't think, Leon Draisaitl won both the Hart and Art Ross. So that's awesome to see. So we'll definitely be having to take a look at the awards right after the draft, since I also forgot about that. But yeah, I don't think we need to trade anybody. Like, I know cap-wise we're pretty stuck, but I don't think we're going to be able to. I mean, we got a lot of people coming off the books. I mean, we could dump off Lawton, but then we're stuck with, you know, nobody for depth. I think we need to trade away Marcus Johansson. Yeah, I forgot that. I should have looked at his contract, but we do need to dump off a few people. Just some contracts that don't need to be on the team. The players that we could just trade away that we picked up for the playoff run that we don't necessarily need anymore. Kessel doesn't have any extensions, so that's good. Grzelcyk, I think we keep. Grzelcyk was pretty good for the team. He's a top forward now, though. Ooh, okay, yeah. Damn. I think we wait. Maybe he'll drop back down to a role, but if he stays as a top 4 or top 6 guy, then we're not going to be able to keep him, because I don't want to play him in my top 4, to be completely honest with you. So we can get some picks with Marcus Johansson, so that's going to be useful. You know what? Yeah, I'll take a 4th round pick. And is the Colorado? No, the Colorado pick's not that great. So we can get a player out of Minnesota, Colin Miller. No. Yeah, 128th, 123rd. A lot of teams kind of want Marcus Johansson. I think the best pick was Columbus. So Marcus Johansson, you're heading off to Columbus. And we'll keep Miles Wood, because I wouldn't mind keeping Miles Wood for the team. And then, yeah, goaltending, yeah. I don't think we need to trade anybody else. So we get an extra pick in the draft. So let's send him off to our 3rd overall selection. And then we'll also take a look at who got picked 1st overall. So Wilkinson got picked 1st overall by LA. And then right after that, Sanford to Detroit. Man to Montreal. Locke to Florida. Colonias to the Nashville Predators. And then after that, it kind of dropped off after that. A good pick for Buffalo. They got a 78 overall. Nice. Very nice. Oh, ooh, nice pick by Chicago as well in that 16th overall selection. Nice, bud. So let's see if we can get some steals. I think that's a big thing right now. We need to start stocking up the shelves a little bit, start getting some players, getting going in there. So these late round picks are going to be massive for us, since we've been all in almost every single year. We can wait on Ivan. We could wait on Ivan because that's 197, so we could wait on him a bit, see if there's any other players kind of available that we can go after. Not a whole lot to select from. Isaac McMahon. We got Enroth. We do got some players here. You know what? Let's go after Isaac McMahon. Looks like a decent player. 4 years out. He'll be a little bit of a development, but we'll pick him up. Woo, baby! What a fucking player, Isaac McMahon. 61 overall, medium elite playmaker. Beautiful, boys. Beautiful. See, this is what I mean. We need to start drafting for a little bit of that future, you know, start develop it up. So we'll definitely choose another goalie in Henrik Enroth. Maybe, oh my God, no way. 2 elite players in the late round. We are having a stellar of a draft right now here, boys. This is what we exactly wanted for this draft to be. We'll pick up the defenseman here in Trenton Venk. I don't even know how to say that name, but that's a dope-ass name, so we're picking him on. Boys. No fucking way, man. McMahon, Enroth, and then Venkashen. Medium elite, 57 overall, offensive defenseman. We are stocking up the shelves again, boys. This is exactly what we wanted to do. Stock back up these shelves, get some players going up in there, and that's what we wanted to do. This is just a draft that to remember, basically. Really is a draft to remember. I'll choose this Joseph Manio. We've been so lucky with choosing these guys up here. Medium top 9, definitely not phenomenal, but sooner or later we were going to get that luck where, hey, you know, weren't going to be phenomenal picks. I just want to get that player out of the way so we don't forget about him. I want to get that power forward in Ivan Nevikov from Belarus. So welcome on into the Edmonton Oilers low elite. Man, that's 4 players that are going to be definitely, or 3 players that are guaranteed impacts on the team, and a guy that is potentially could be another impact on the team. Once again, this is just the draft that, unbelievable. Haltonen, we could use him as some potential, yeah, we could use him as some potential low top 9. Some teams could want him. Not too bad. We'll continue moving on here. Continue selecting some players. Yeah, Sean Chang from Canada. Hell yeah, bring him on in. Grinder. Low elite grinder, baby. Hell yeah, bring him on into the team, boys. As we get one last pick. This has been a phenomenal draft. I think we've only had a few selections that have been like bum. But this has just been the draft that we really, really needed, because we needed to stock back the shelves. Pure and simple, we needed to stock the shelves back up, and we certainly did that with some great picks that we just made, especially with Isaac McMahon being added onto the team, a great defenseman. Oh, we still have one last pick. Perfect. I like that. One last pick into the draft. We'll draft another defenseman here if this thing could turn out to be something good. Yeah, low top 7. What can you ask for? I mean, 3 medium elites and like, what, 2 low elites? I mean, I'll take that any day. McMahon, Enroth, 3 amazing picks late round. Our scouts have been doing an amazing job for us. Like, really have been. I mean, we don't have prospects right now, but they've been really stepping up big time. So, yeah, so we do have an NHL assistant coach that does want to move on, potentially. We might not be able to get him back onto the team. But before we head into the signing stage of everything, we'll head into the awards. So Boston Bruins bringing another cup to their team, especially with Brad Marchand retiring there. They were going up against the Blues once again, and this time the Bruins beat the Blues. Leon Draisaitl wins the Art Ross, so this is his first time in our franchise mode era that Leon Draisaitl won the Art Ross and the Hart Memorial. Cale Makar won the James Norris. Pasternak won the Lady Byng. Cole Sillinger wins the Calder. David Pasternak won the Conn Smythe this year. Nice. Carter Hart wins the Vezina and also the William M. Jennings. DePris won the Bill Masterton, won the Jack Adams. Frank J. Selke goes to Barkov. Ted Lindsay goes to Draisaitl. And Maurice Richard once again to the Great 8. The legend who, I don't even know how old he is now, but Ovi is just an absolute legend who keeps on trucking on. So we'll get in to the re-sign stage here with the Edmonton Oilers. We'll take a look at this. So we have $25.7 million walking into free agency. So now we got to make some big decisions. And this is where, you know, things will probably get a little bit debatable. And we're definitely not paying Yamamoto that type of money. So we're giving him a qualifying offer. Hopefully he'll lower what he wants. For Jesse Puljujarvi, I love the guy. Unless he wants to take it for super cheap, which he does not, we're going to be releasing Jesse Puljujarvi. Phil Kessel will also be releasing you. Ryan Sholm doesn't want to come back on the team, so we're also releasing you. Nyquist doesn't want to come back. Harman might not be a bad fourth-line guy or depth guy for the team, but how much does he want? Yeah, no. Harmon gone. Ryan McLeod will keep on the team. We'll keep him. Oh. Qualify offer him. That's a lot of money. Oh my god, these players are just asking for big bucks from me right now, man. This is going to be a hard offseason, man. This really, really is. It's going to be a really tough offseason because we're making a lot of decisions that I know you guys in the comment section below and in the chat will most likely be ripping on me for letting go Puljujarvi. And I'm not happy with having to let go of Puljujarvi. But some things got to change, and we need another goal scorer to be added onto the team that's a dedicated finisher. You know, that's what we really need for the team right now, and he wasn't that guy. He wasn't that guy that we need him to be, and I want a left-wing sniper to play alongside a Nuge and Yamamoto that could be big in the playoffs, could be big in the regular season, could be a guy that could potentially even go up alongside of McDavid. Just a big player overall that can be an addition to the team is what I really want for the Edmonton Oilers. So, yeah, once again, we'll take a look at what we drafted because I definitely do want to do that. I mean, yeah, Venkashen, Mcmahon. We also got the goalie, Chang and Nevikov, which is just absolutely fantastic for this draft. That was tremendous. So now defensively, we got a little bit of a problem with Grzelcyk stepping up and saying that he's a top 4 defenseman. So that's definitely something that I'm not tremendously happy with because, I mean, doesn't have a no movement clause or anything like that. So we really don't got to worry about that. That's not the negative here, but we still got to deal with something like that. David Ferentz, I would like to get you back on the team because you are a tremendous depth player and a player that I like to put in the lineup if I absolutely need to. So I'd like to get you back on the team. Julius Honka, sign you for some depth. Continue moving forward here. Jack Rathbone, we'll let some of these players go. Legason, sign you back. Miles Cook, man, he's developing really fastly, Miles Cook. I mean, he was our first-round pick back in 2024, so he might be a player that is almost ready to emerge for the Edmonton Oilers here. And then Saros is a big decision. 85 overall, he drops back down to, how much do you want? Ooh, that's actually an eatable contract. At 5 years, that takes him up until, yeah, you know what? I'll do that. Let's see if we can get him at 5.8. Let me pop up the wheel to side here right quick. We'll spin the wheel on Juuse Saros, see what type of contract he'll be, because honestly, I'll take that. I will take that for Juuse Saros, because $5.8 million, it was at $7 million at one moment of time, so since its overall has dropped, we could get him on a really nice contract. He wants have no movement, have no trade clause. You know what? 3 years at no movement, I'll take that for Juuse Saros. $5.8 million for the next 5 years for Juuse Saros. We're going to let go of Colton Point. I think we're going to go a new direction. Maybe Rodriguez ready to go this year as well. Fast will get you onto a contract. And, yeah, that's really about it. So we'll advance today. See who signs. Nugent-Hopkins. Juuse Saros does not sign with the Edmonton Oilers. That is not a good sign. So we're going to have to negotiate with him a little bit. I don't think we really had any big other signings. So, will you take 9.5? That's a big, I only want you at 5 years because I really don't want to give you 6. I mean, it's not too big of a deal because it's a no trade clause, but if we're a playoff team, I don't want to trade him to a playoff team. That's my biggest problem right now is I don't want to trade him to a playoff team if if he's struggling and not doing good, because if I send him off to a playoff team, that's just not going to end up very good for us. And he does sign for 5 years, which is the deal that I wanted. That is definitely the deal that I wanted him at. So we get him for 5 years at $5.95 million for Juuse Saros, which is the contract I like for him. So he'll be on the team until he's 35 years of age. So beautiful. We have $19,375,000 remaining in our cap. So not a whole lot of money left, but we just got a little bit. Does he still want to be an assistant coach? Let's see if we can get him back. Dean Marchand as an assistant coach, because I would like to get him back. This is a player, or this is a coach that I would like to get back on the team. Unless, if not, I would potentially even upgrade this guy as an assistant coach. Honestly, if the other guy doesn't sign, I'll upgrade the other guy as an assistant coach from the AHL team. He won us a championship, so yeah, he's not okay. Kind of what I thought. He doesn't want to be with the team unless he's an associate coach, so you could be gone. Release him, and then we'll upgrade Gravichev up to an NHL assistant coach, and we'll hire a new AHL coach this year, and will be the plan for the team. He'll be an NHL assistant. So there we go. Now let's get on to the free agency, baby. We don't got anything else to do. We just got to sim off the free agency. We already gave our qualifying offers to our players, so we don't need to worry about that. So let's get into this, baby. Let's see what's available. So we already know what we need. We need a lot of depth. We need a defenseman. So let's see what there is. And basically, we won't be signing anybody in this video because I want to let you guys decide. And oh my God, there's Taylor fucking Hall. Dude, oh my God. You gotta be... Oh, dude, I would love Taylor Hall on this team. That's a lot of money, though, for Taylor Hall, bro. I would love Taylor Hall on this team, but that's a lot of money to give to Taylor Hall. God damn, bro. I would love to get him. Love to get him, but for 1 year, I would rather do 1 year at a massive deal. But damn, man, there's some expensive players out here, man. So we need a sniper, and a lot of the goal scoring guys are expensive unless you go down cheaper down here. I mean, you got Robbie Fabro, and that's really it. God damn it, dude. Fuck. No, it's really not going to make it easy this year. Really not going to make it easy this year, isn't it? Shea Theodore, I would love to bring into the team. I think this is definitely a guy that we bring into Shea Theodore. Amazing defensively, unless we go for someone that could be, you know, cheaper, like a Jacob Larson or something like that. But man, there are so many expensive people. Shesterkin's out there. Yeah, man, this is gonna be a really rough free agency. I feel like maybe we're gonna have to make some trades. We got some prospects that we just drafted. I don't want to trade them. I really don't. But we got some prospects that are, you know, that we could be, you know, potentially willing to trade, you know. I don't want to because I want them to be the next big things on our team. Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's take a look around the league as well. We'll decide on what we're going to do. Kind of analyze, you know, what type of moves we can make because we need a defenseman and we need a forward. Do we want to overpay for a forward and risk out, you know, losing McDavid and stuff like that? Or do we want to just go out there and get someone like a Claude Giroux, right? And make a trade for somebody, which I would rather digest more than anything else. I'd rather do that. Bjorkstrand wouldn't be a bad idea. But, I mean, he's not a huge goal scorer, and that's the biggest problem is we're looking for a guy that would be a big impact player on that second line. Wouldn't just be some mediocre player. Clifton, Madsen, Pacioretty? Ooh. I would not mind Pacioretty. Pacioretty would be a guy, but he might drop down. That's the problem with him. 36 years of age. He's a top 9 guy now, so he might drop potentially. You got Andres Lee, who could be a goal scorer, power forward. It's just, you know, he's not too bad during the playoffs, but I mean, he's only played twice, and he's and he's expensive. Fiola. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so here's some players. So we got Kevin Fiola, $5.2 million, which is in our price range. He's a guy that can score, you know, upwards 24 goals. He's a guy that's, I mean, hasn't played a whole lot of hockey because I think he was dealing with contract negotiations with them. But I think he could be a guy that could be a really good goal scorer. Either that or Anthony Duclair. But, I mean, he's at $7.4 million. Was asking for way too much money. He has 1 year left on his deal. So Kevin Fiola is somebody that we could think about. Verhaeghe, I think he's a sniper. No, he's a 2A. Toffoli as well. That could be somebody that we could pick up. He's another sniper, but I mean, he's definitely, he's produced a little bit of goals. 28 there with Montreal. He's not too bad. Could be somebody that we could aim for. Tyler Toffoli there. $6.8 million, so he's going to be asking for a little bit more. Plus, he still has an extra 3 years, so Fiola would still, I think, be the target with that case. Falk, you got some defensemen here that we could pick up, but, you know, Torrey Krug's an offensive defense, or Falk is an offensive defenseman, same with Krug. Not a lot of options there in St. Louis. Yeah, not a lot of options there in Toronto either. Lausanne, Winnipeg, yeah. So I think Kevin Fiola is like the only guy that I would be able to, you know, eat. We could trade a first-round pick, and one of our lower-down prospects or one of our goalie prospects we could even trade away as well to New York. So we got Fiola. And, I mean, we can go after a forward. It's just I'm already worrying about Yamamoto. We already have to pay Yamamoto probably a big deal. I mean, we did sign him to a qualifying offer, so hopefully no one signs him and we could get him back to a decent deal. But if we don't, then we're going to have to go after somebody else. So I do want to get Yamamoto back. I just don't want to pay the type of money that we are willing, have to pay. Taylor Hall, I would love to bring into the team. It's just the problem is he wants 3 years, and I don't want to pay a guy that amount of money. Gurionov, he's a guy that we can bring in for sure. He's not too bad. He's been a big, goal scorer. But I mean, paying a guy $9 million for a guy that's only had, one fucking season where he scored 27 goals would be dumb. You got Cam Atkinson, but you're paying him $7 million for what? Good production without a doubt. But you're paying for a guy that might potentially drop down. You got Tavares, who wouldn't be a bad idea. You could play him as a center, and he wouldn't be a bad idea. Has some X factors. You got John Tavares. But Kevin Fiola is just, the better option to go with. He's the better guy. He looks like he'll be the better player than most of those guys. Defensively, we could go with someone like Shea Theodore, or we could go with someone like a Johan Larsson or a Hijack. But I think if we were to go for somebody, it would either be Shea Theodore or Johan Larsson, I think would be the options. But I definitely think Shea Theodore would make this defense score a hell of a lot better. And if we were able to maybe get Shea or Kevin Fiola for a little bit cheaper, I think that's an option as well. But I'm going to wait to hear you guys' options, and I'm going to think a little bit about it too on what we really do next here with the Edmonton Oilers, because we got some big decisions. We got some, things that we're going to have to decide upon on what we do next. So I'll leave it up for the next video. But for right now, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching, boys, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Adios, amigos.